Let's draw an urban scene, draw people in context and add bold color. My name is Gouache and I'm here to join you on your creative journey. Let's draw together. And if you like an assignment, I'll give it to you at the end of this video. This is one of my favorite drawings that I did during my short trip to Gran Canaria in February. I used my gouache palette that you've seen the previous weeks on Draw Tip Tuesday videos. Since I didn't film the process when I made this drawing, I thought it could be interesting to recreate the drawing for today's Draw Tip Tuesday. I've never done that before, so let's see what happens. I'll be using this pen, a Staedtler Pigment liner with a chisel tip. For the original drawing, I used a fountain pen with calligraphy nib, and this pen also gives a nice versatile line thanks to the chisel tip. And it's waterproof, so I can paint on top of my lines. Later on, I will use some colored pencil on top of the paint, but first let's draw. When urban sketching and including people in a sketch, especially when the person I draw is my main focus, that's where I start. They can leave, so you better get them on the page before they do leave. The rest, the street, buildings, plants, lampposts and such, they will stay in place. So first things first, I start drawing the man. You might wonder if people notice if I draw them. Well, here I was sitting at a bit of a distance when I was drawing this man, who was resting and just looking around. I had my sunglasses on and was drawing while chatting with my husband, who was sitting across from me, so it might have looked like I was just looking at my husband. I don't know. The man didn't seem to notice or care, and if he would have noticed, I would have shown him the drawing after finishing it. I might have done that anyway, but he had left by the time I was done with my drawing. After drawing the man, I draw his surroundings, creating that urban scene by drawing the lamppost, greens, buildings, people in the background. These are all urban elements. Then I'm ready to paint. I can't remember what the colors of the man's clothes were in reality, but I do know that I took artistic liberty with my color choices. The Naples yellow is a great basis to mix with pink for painting the man's skin. I'll remix it a little and use it for the people in the background right away, now that it's on my palette. How efficient! Having fun mixing my paints and adding more bright color. I remember how I enjoyed deciding on hot pink for the checkered shirt and repeating that color for the socks. It's a very bright and unnatural color, so I think it's really exciting. By adding my version of yellow in my purple mix, I create brown for the shoes. Then mix until I have a nice warm gray. I need to have enough because I will use quite some of it for the buildings and for the shading. I think that I am using gouache pretty much the same way I use watercolors. I keep forgetting that I can make more use of the opacity and then I can use white as well. It's just not in my system yet. Usually when traveling, watercolors are my go-to. And so on my trip to Spain in September, that's mostly what I will use in my classes. Along with pens and maybe some colored pencils. On this travel workshop in Spain, I will teach every day, starting in Barcelona and then exploring the Costa Brava together. I will guide you to take bold decisions. We'll draw a lot. Drawing scenes, drawing people, and capturing all the travel memories in our sketchbooks. Are you in? The workshop is filling up, so don't hesitate. Follow the link in the description. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. Did you know that this video is brought to you by my patrons? They pay a small monthly contribution on my Patreon, where I share lots more tips, ideas, and inspiration. Check out my Patreon too. There's a 7-day trial to poke around and get a taste. Link is in the video description. To bring more life and depth to the greens, I'm adding a layer of darker green. I made a video about how to bring depth and liveliness into your drawings, to which I will link at the end of this video, so you can watch that after this one. Let's not forget the sky, turquoise straight from the palette. Because the opaque gouache gives a chalky kind of flat layer of color, very different than watercolors, I like layering some texture on top. I do that using colored pencils and crayons. Let's play! The paint is still a bit damp and the paper isn't that heavy, so it rips a little because I'm quite heavy-handed. But I don't mind. I'm not only heavy-handed, I'm also too impatient to wait until the paint has dried completely. I think the skin turned out a bit pink, and I don't know if the color I am adding is that great of a choice, but I like the texture anyway. Adding some white crayon to give some lighter tone and curve to the belly and the arms. Some more scribbles just for fun, and I'm done. Let's see how I did compared with the original drawing. I think I like the original drawing better because it has more spontaneity and therefore feels more lively. I also think I made the man look like some kind of cartoon character in the second version. Whatever I think, or whatever my inner critic may think, I had fun. Here's an assignment for this week. Find a spot where you can observe people. At a cafe, a park, or a street corner. And of course you can use a photo for reference instead. Start your sketch with a person, because you'll have to draw them first before they leave. And then build the scene around them. Try using bold colors. You can also add texture with colored pencil or crayon if you like. I love that. Just use any materials that you have. Happy sketching! I'll see you next week.